All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're launching into a high-stakes investigation, diving straight into the invisible mechanisms of the global dirty money machine. Welcome to this explainer.
Okay, let's dive into this. To put things in perspective, international bodies estimate that the sums involved in money laundering aren't just a few $1,000,000 here and there. No way. We're talking about a massive, truly shocking percentage of the entire world's gross domestic product. It's literally a huge parallel economy functioning right under our noses.
So this brings us to a fascinating core mystery. How exactly does dirty money get clean? Like, how do literal stacks of illicit, dangerous cash physically transform into seemingly legitimate, respectable wealth that can just be spent in broad daylight?
Section 1. What is money laundering?
Now, this isn't just some boring legal definition you'd find in a textbook. Money laundering is the absolute core mechanism of organized crime. It's a process specifically engineered to mask origins and protect criminals from the law, making their illicit funds look, well, perfectly honest.
And the origins of this dirty money? It forms a pretty grim list. We're looking at drug trafficking, high-level corruption and bribery, massive tax evasion, human trafficking, financial fraud, and, increasingly, cybercrime. So you have this vast, dark economy continuously feeding cash into the global financial laundromat.
Section 2. The 3 essential stages. So, the crucial point here is that this process doesn't just happen randomly. It relies on 3 consecutive stages: placement, layering, and integration. Each step is specifically designed to sever any link to the illegal source, which makes tracing the funds incredibly difficult for investigators.
First up is placement. This is where the dirty money is physically introduced into the legal financial system. Think structured bank deposits, purchasing assets, or funding dummy corporations. Now, this is actually the riskiest moment for the criminal. If they're going to get caught, it usually happens right here, because this is the exact moment the raw, dirty cash walks through the bank's front door.
Then, we enter what I like to call the spin cycle. That's layering. Here, things get truly complicated. The origin of the money is hidden through dozens, sometimes hundreds of complex, multiple transfers. They're utilizing offshore accounts and rapid-fire international transactions. Basically, they are aggressively moving money across borders to confuse, exhaust, and ultimately defeat anyone trying to investigate.
Finally, we reach integration. The cycle concludes and the funds are reinserted into the legal economy. They suddenly become luxury investments, thriving businesses, or high-end real estate. The money comes out of the wash completely clean, looking perfectly legal in the real world.
Section 3. Famous examples and cases.
Let's treat this like a mini true crime story for a second. Historically, we've seen massive traditional banking scandals. You might remember major banks like HSBC being caught facilitating transactions for drug cartels, or the infamous Panama Papers revealing how the ultra-rich hid immense wealth offshore. But contrast that with modern methods. Today's criminals are heavily exploiting cryptocurrencies, taking full advantage of the relative anonymity and regulatory blind spots to wash funds digitally and almost instantly.
Section 4. The role of tax havens.
So why tax havens? Well, these specific jurisdictions are basically the perfect hiding spots for illicit wealth. They offer total anonymity regarding the real owner, permissive legal systems that essentially refuse to cooperate with outside investigations, and of course, reduced or completely non-existent taxes.
And this brilliantly illustrates the method in action. Imagine a dummy company registered in the Cayman Islands. It exists entirely on paper, but it's effectively used to funnel profits in mask origins. That single, flimsy piece of paper acts as an absolutely impenetrable shield for dirty money.
Section 5. How does it directly affect us?
Now, you might be wondering, how does this actually impact me? Well, the ripple effects are devastating. Illegal capital warps market prices and destroys fair competition. Budget-wise, the state loses out on massive tax revenues, money that should absolutely be going to your local schools and hospitals. Plus, trust in our institutions is seriously eroded by corruption, which creates banking instability. But you know what the most dangerous effect is? That newly cleaned money is immediately reinvested to fund the next generation of crimes.
Section 6. How do we stop this phenomenon?
All right, so how do we fight back? Our first line of defense is strict bank regulations, specifically KYC, or Know Your Customer. And this connects directly to your everyday life. This is exactly why your local bank asks for so many IDs and documents when you just want to open a simple checking account.
They have to prove exactly who you are to prevent that placement stage from ever happening. All of this is backed up by rules on reporting suspicious transactions, global FATF standards, strict EU directives, and new crypto regulations.
Ultimately, we're talking about an immense global effort. Stopping money laundering isn't just an issue for the police to handle. It's about maintaining a fair and transparent economic environment for all of us. And it depends entirely on nations cooperating, sharing financial data, and constantly adapting to new evasive technologies.
Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought to ponder as we wrap up today's explainer. In an increasingly anonymous digital economy fueled by cryptocurrencies, will money ever be truly clean again? Thank you so much for joining me on this analysis. Keep questioning the world around you, and I'll catch you next time.